thought you saved a coin, but now you wasted a coin. Some of y'all are detectives in y'all relationships, okay? Y'all need to be detectives when it comes to thrift stores, okay? So hey fashion besties, it's your girl Travia, aka Irregular, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and you like affordable fashion, beauty, and lifestyle vlogs, then this is the channel for you. And sis, if you are not new here, hey girl, hey. This video is all about tips on how to thrift like a pro. So this is basically thrifting tips for beginners. I get a lot of questions about, like, you find, especially on Instagram, you find the best thrift pieces, etc, etc, etc. And I mean, you know, I've been thrifting since I was a child. With my outfit of the day, well, my top of the day, because y'all, I just got on pajama pants. I need to be comfortable when I be doing these sit down videos. But I am actually wearing a top that I thrifted from Thrift, and it is just, it's so comfortable. So I actually cut it because it was a turtleneck, but sis, it was just way too tight. So I cut it, and now it's like this, and I love it because it's more spring, summer appropriate. Honey, okay, see, that's what you, we're gonna get into that. When you are thrifting and you're a thrift beginner, a lot of people have an issue with when they go in, they feel overwhelmed. So the first thing that I would actually tell you to do is to find inspiration. So the first tip would be to go on Pinterest, whether that's Pinterest, Instagram, or wherever you find inspiration, the magazines, if you still read those, whatever. If you go outside and you just watch people's streetwear and what people are wearing, that is inspiration, and you need that inspiration. Because when you go, it's the same when, like, you go into a grocery store and you have no list and you're just buying up a whole bunch of stuff and you don't even know where to start. It's the same. So thrift stores can be very overwhelming because they're normally big with a whole bunch of stuff. So if you are also not a shopper to begin with, thrifting can be very scary. But always, 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 and that's even with shopping at regular stores, make sure you kind of go in with the mindset if you know exactly what you want, what you're looking for, the colors, the silhouettes, patterns, etc. Find some inspo. After you find your inspo, go in with a budget, because when we go thrifting, we see things as $2 and $3, $4. Just like when we go into Target, we think things is $5.99, $2.99, all this other stuff, and then you end up spending $500 at the register. It's the exact same thing. So you putting all this stuff into your, your cart, but you need a budget. So normally for me, if I'm going to a Goodwill or a thrift store, and I will have another video of different types of thrift stores and online versus going in store, so I'll get more into that. But yes, you want to have a budget. So I like to stick towards like a $60 to $70 budget when I'm thrifting, and you can get a lot for that, but trust and believe, you could definitely spend over $100, well over $100 in a thrift store if you don't have it. Kind of goes hand in hand with the budget, and that is just go on days that they are having sales. So like I said, there'll be a video with online thrifting and in-store thrifting. Both of them have sales. So online, they'll have a sale. You'll normally probably get it to like your email or whatever. And then when the in-store, I want to say like Goodwills, sometimes it'll be like Mondays, be like they'll have like half off of like skirts or half off of dresses or something like that. And then I know like thrift stores, sometimes they'll have like the color tag, like, oh, the light blue tag, everything that's light blue is 50% off or whatever. But go on days that they normally have discounts, so that way you could get the most for your money. Tip also, if you plan on thrift reselling, but since this is just for beginners, I don't know if reselling is in your mind yet. Next tip is to wash all of your clothes. I think this is something that you already know, but if you do not know, make sure you are washing all of your clothes. Make sure you are washing your shoes, like, cleansing them as, however you cleanse your shoes. Bed sheets, whatever you get from the thrift store. Like I said, I know that this might sound like it's, common sense, but common sense ain't that common. But I know y'all on this channel here, we all got common sense. So just make sure you are washing your clothes. And to be quite honest, sis, you need to also be washing your clothes that you buy brand new. I'm just letting y'all know that I worked in retail for 8 years, and 100%, you need to wash clothes is also brand new, sis. Just letting you know. My next tip is not all thrift stores have a dressing room. So what you should do is what I like to do is wear a maxi dress. And that way, when you wear a maxi dress, it's long, so you can slip on pants. So it's easy to try on jackets and stuff like that. But a maxi dress would just allow you to try on any type of pants or leggings or whatever. Shirts, it's always good for that. In terms of tops, you can literally, me and my mom used to do this. Like, I would like get in front of her, but we know how to dress if we're gonna like go and thrift. And so it would be a dress, like a maxi dress that doesn't have any sleeves. It's just easy to slip on, slip off. That, hey, do it discreet. It's definitely a way that you could do it, but I would definitely say watch what you wear at certain thrift stores that does not have a dressing room. This next tip is probably the most important. Be Inspector Gadget. I know some of y'all are detectives in y'all relationships, okay? Y'all need to be detectives when it comes to thrift stores, okay? So every single thing, the underarms, make sure there's no underarm stains, make sure there's no holes, check your pockets, make sure there's no ring around the collar, you know, check the inseams, make sure there's no bust inseams, check literally every single thing, and not check it once. Don't check it twice, check it 3 times. So check it when you first pick it up, check it while you're walking around the store browsing, and then the last time want to make sure you check it while you're waiting in line to get checked out. I'm trying to tell you, there has been we all have done it. We all have went to the thrift store and bought something, and we got home and tried it on or whatever and realized like, dang, I ain't see this. And now you can't return it. However, some thrift stores, well, I know Goodwills have an exchange policy. Still not a return, so you still can't get your money back. But that's why you really, really, really want to really inspect stuff. And you want to make sure that even if there's a stain, you want to make sure it's a stain that you can get out. Because there are some things that you can do. You can take things to the dry cleaners, do all this other stuff. But you got to also make sure it's worth it as well. But yeah, that's the most important tip. So make sure, I don't want y'all coming home with stuff with holes and stains that you can't get out, because then you're gonna be mad, sis. You're gonna be mad. Thought you saved a coin, but now you wasted a coin. All right, so the next tip I would give you is to have an open mind when you go to the thrift store. So what most people love, like professional thrifters or just people that just love thrifting for a hobby, is clothes. You can literally, a shirt doesn't have to be worn as a shirt. You know, a dress doesn't have to be worn just as a dress. And vice versa. Like, there's so many things. You could thrift flip, you know, you can get something for the thrift store and make it completely different. Just have just an open mind. And what I mean by that, also like check other sections that's not the women's section. The men's section is amazing for graphic tees, for blazers, for oversized button-ups, like I told y'all about, like the spring and summer trends. Check everywhere. Just have an open mind. When you see, you know, like fun prints and stuff, go for those fun prints. The whole point of thrifting is not just about saving money. You want to save money, but you also want to go and find those one-of-a-kind pieces while everybody's shopping at Zara, while everybody's shopping at H&M, while everybody's shopping these main street brands. You want to go out and you want to find something that's super unique and super fun. So keep an open mind. Not saying like, you know, do something completely not in your style, your personal style. Obviously, it needs to be something that you're going to wear and love. However, just have an open mind and have fun. Next tip is another one that's super important, okay? So when I worked in retail, one of the most things that irritated me the most about customers is they shop when they don't have time. And then they get upset with you because you're not moving at the pace of their time. No. First off, I hope y'all don't do that to people that work at retail, but I'm gonna eventually tell y'all my life story, okay? Y'all, it's gonna be a good one too. But anyway, when you thrift, honey, you need to make time, and I mean hours of time. And especially if you're just now starting and you're gonna be overwhelmed and you're gonna want to look at each piece and all this other stuff, which you should anyway. You should literally look at every single thing because you don't want to pass over a gem. But you need to make time. Like, I mean, block out a minimum of probably 3 hours of time, because most thrift stores are, one, they're big, especially if it's a thrift store, and not Goodwills are normally a little smaller, but they're still big. But yeah, Like, seriously, block out that time and take your time. So if you got something to do later, maybe that's not the day that you go thrifting. Go thrifting on a day that you have nothing planned, that you don't have your kids with you, that you don't have no obligations, and this is a day and a time that you are dedicating to yourself. And just go and browse, sis, and take however long that you possibly want and find those gems. But yes, a lot of the reason why I find the items that I find is because I put in the time. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, when I go on ThredUp or when I go to I don't find these things because y'all don't put in the time. I am on the first time I'm on ThredUp. I can be on there for an hour. Like, you got to put in the time. So another tip is know your brands. So you want to know your brands for a lot of different reasons. But knowing your brands is really important because, one, you get to see if you're actually getting a steal. Because sometimes when you go to the thrift store and there's things with like new with tags, obviously they're going to mark it up a little bit more. But you also want to know your brands because you just want to know like what's vintage, what's not, if that's important to you. Because I know some people only vintage thrift. Everything at the thrift store ain't vintage, okay? Because I can take this top and sell it, and donate it to the thrift store. This is not vintage. But knowing your brands, and when I talk about the video with the online shopping, online thrifting, that's really where it really plays a really big key. So you're not overspending. But just knowing your brands and just knowing the quality of the brands and everything like that, that's really important when it comes to thrifting. So the next tip is to get familiar with the thrift stores in your area. So when you're first starting out, obviously, like if you never thrifted before, like you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So in your area, if there are multiple, like where I live, there's about maybe give or take 4 where I live right now. But obviously there's other ones that are not as close, but they're still, drivable that I can go to. But I know which ones, like some of them might be good for pants. Some of them might be good, like always have the best like jewelry. Some of them might have the best bags. And it just depends on the area. Do you live in a poorer area? Do you live in an area where there's a little bit more money and people are donating, designer, So it definitely plays a part into like the area that you are shopping to what would be in the thrift store. So just kind of get to know, oh my gosh, like my mom is like a professional thrifter and she actually used to work at a thrift store back in the day. But like now, like when we go thrifting together, like she knows the people there know her. So just get to know your community, like if you're in a store very often, like get to know them because they're also going to tell you like what's probably the best days to come, when they get more shipment in, when more donations in, so know your thrift stores and know the people that work there is an extra plus. So this next tip is kind of goes with like have the open mind, and I think I touched bases on it a little bit earlier, and this is just simply to check all sections, okay? So like I said, check the men's section, check lingerie. Lingerie is really good for like little camis, little lace camis, definitely good for robes that you could turn into kimonos, honey. Have an open mind. Don't only just shop in the women's. Also, don't only just shop your size, shop bigger. So if you want to shop the plus size, when you want things that are a little bit oversized. The last tip that I'm going to give is know the exchange policy, or if there's any type of policy at all. So I don't think the regular thrift stores, but I do know that like Goodwill, they have an exchange policy. I don't remember how many days, but it's a certain amount of days and you have to have the tag. Just exchange, you can't get your money back. But online thrifting, I know that you can get a refund if it doesn't work out, if it's not final sales. So know any type of policies that you need to know with a certain store that you are thrifting. All right, y'all, so I wanted to make that video short and sweet. I literally just wanted to give you just beginner tips that will have you going and hopefully have you being confident on your next thrift trip. Let me know in the comment, are you OG thrifters or are you beginners, and if this video was helpful. I love thrifting, so if you definitely want to see more thrift content, I will be doing a thrift with me video sometime in May because me and my cousin already made a thrift date. I'm gonna do a vlog style, so I would like take you along with me in a thrift store. So let me know if you found this video helpful, and I will see you beauties next video. Bye. Yeah.